comes a moment in life when you have to stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking a much harder question. What am I going to do about it? Because life is not going to become easy simply because you are tired. Your problems will not disappear because you are discouraged, and the world is not going to stop moving while you try to figure yourself out. There will be days when you feel behind, days when you look at your life and wonder how you ended up so far away from the person you thought you would become. There will be disappointments. There will be rejection. There will be people who don't believe in you. There will be moments when your own mind becomes the loudest voice telling you to quit. But listen carefully. That does not mean your story is over. It means you have reached the part of the story where you have to decide who you are going to become. You may not be able to control everything that happens to you, but you can control what you do next. And sometimes, the greatest change in your life begins with one simple decision. I am no longer going to abandon myself. Think about how powerful that statement is. Because many people don't lose their dreams because they are incapable. They lose them because they slowly stop believing that their dreams are possible. They stop trying, they stop learning, they stop taking risks. They surround themselves with people who have already surrendered, and eventually, they begin calling their surrender reality. Don't make that mistake. Your current circumstances are not necessarily your final destination. Where you are today is information. It is not a prophecy. Maybe you have failed. Maybe you wasted years. Maybe you made decisions you regret. Maybe you trusted the wrong people. Maybe you started something and didn't finish it. Maybe you have been disappointed so many times that disappointment has become familiar. But you are still here. And as long as you are here, you still have something to work with. The question is whether you are willing to work with it. You have to become hungry for your own growth, not jealous of somebody else's life, not obsessed with proving people wrong. Not desperate for applause, hungry for growth, hungry to become stronger, hungry to become wiser, hungry to become more disciplined, hungry to discover what you are actually capable of, because there is a version of you that has not been introduced to the world yet. A stronger version, a more disciplined version, a version that doesn't need constant motivation to do what must be done, a version that can walk through difficult seasons without losing its direction. But that person doesn't appear by accident. You have to build that person, and the first place you have to begin is with yourself. Work on yourself when nobody is watching. Read when nobody is forcing you to read. Learn when nobody is applauding you. Exercise your discipline when there is no reward waiting for you. Practice your craft when nobody knows your name. Improve your character before the world gives you an audience, because one of the biggest mistakes people make is spending all their energy trying to change everything around them while refusing to change themselves. They want a better life without becoming a better version of themselves. They want success without discipline. They want confidence without taking uncomfortable action. They want respect without developing character. They want a different future while repeating the same behavior. It doesn't work that way. If you want a different life, something about the way you live has to change, and that change begins inside. Pay attention to the conversations you have with yourself, because there is a voice inside your head that can either become your greatest supporter or your greatest enemy. Sometimes it tells you, you're not ready, you're too late, you're not talented enough, you've already failed. People will laugh at you. What if you embarrass yourself? What if it doesn't work? And if you listen to that voice long enough, you can become imprisoned by possibilities that haven't even happened. Fear can make you suffer through imaginary futures. You can lose today worrying about what might happen tomorrow. So you have to learn to challenge your own thoughts. When your mind says you can't ask, why not? When fear says, wait, ask, what am I waiting for? When doubt says, you're not good enough, answer with action. You don't defeat doubt by arguing with it all day. You defeat doubt by doing the thing you were afraid to do. Take the first step, then another, then another. Confidence doesn't always come before action. Sometimes action is what creates confidence. You don't need to feel fearless. You need to move while fear is present. That is courage. Courage isn't the absence of fear. Courage is deciding that your purpose matters more than your fear. And there will be moments when you have to start again. Start again after failure. Start again after rejection. Start again after losing money. Start again after losing an opportunity. Start again after trusting someone who disappointed you. Start again after realizing that the person you used to be is no longer the person you want to remain. Starting over does not make you weak. Sometimes starting over is evidence that you are finally strong enough to refuse a life that no longer fits you. There is something else you need to understand. Your environment matters. The people around you are influencing you, whether you realize it or not. Their attitudes, their habits, their conversations, their expectations, their definition of what is possible. Spend enough time around people who constantly complain, and complaining can begin to feel normal. Spend enough time around people who make excuses, and excuses can begin to sound reasonable. Spend enough time around people who have surrendered, and eventually they may convince you that ambition is foolish. Be careful. You don't have to hate anyone. You don't have to fight everyone. You don't have to announce that you are cutting people off. But you do have to protect the direction of your life. Ask yourself, who am I becoming because of the people I spend the most time with? That's a powerful question. Are they making you stronger? Are they challenging you? Are they encouraging you? Are they helping you think bigger? Are they happy when you grow? Do you leave conversations with them feeling inspired or drained? Your relationships should not require you to become smaller so that someone else can feel comfortable. Find people who are serious about growth, people who are learning, people who are building, people who are willing to admit when they are wrong, people who have dreams and are willing to work for them. You don't need hundreds of people. Sometimes you need only a few. A few people who remind you who you are when you forget. A few people who tell you the truth when you need to hear it. A few people who refuse to let you make excuses. And if you don't have those people around you yet, become that person for yourself. Become your own encouragement. Become your own accountability. Become the person who says, get up, try again, learn from it, keep moving. Because eventually, you have to stop waiting for somebody else to rescue your potential. Nobody can do your discipline for you. Nobody can take your steps for you. Nobody can build your character for you. Nobody can live your life for you. At some point, responsibility comes back to you. And responsibility is not punishment. Responsibility is power. Because when you accept responsibility, you stop giving everyone else control over your future. You stop saying, they ruined my life. They didn't support me. I didn't have the opportunity. I was unlucky. My circumstances were terrible. Maybe some of those things are true. Maybe you really were treated unfairly. Maybe life really did give you a difficult starting point. But the question remains, what can I do from here? You may not control the beginning, but you can influence the next chapter. And that is where your power lives. Make commitments to yourself small. Ones at first. Don't promise yourself that you will transform your entire life overnight. Promise yourself that you will wake up when you said you would. Promise yourself that you will spend 30 minutes learning. Promise yourself that you will finish the task you keep avoiding. Promise yourself that you will exercise. Promise yourself that you will stop wasting hours on things that don't move your life forward. Then keep that promise, because every time you keep a promise to yourself, you teach your mind something important. I can trust myself. And every time you repeatedly break promises to yourself, something else happens. Your confidence slowly weakens. You begin to doubt your own word. You say, tomorrow comes. Then you say, next week comes. Eventually, you become a person who has become comfortable disappointing yourself. Break that pattern, start small. But take yourself seriously. If you say you're going to do something, make an honest effort to do it. And when you fail, don't turn one failure into an identity. Don't say, I am lazy. Say, I failed to follow through today. Tomorrow, I will do better. There is a difference. One attacks your identity, the other corrects your behavior. You are not your worst day. You are not your last mistake. You are not the opinion of someone who doesn't understand your journey. You are a work in progress. And work in progress means there is still work to do. Another thing you must learn is how to protect your attention. Your mind is one of the most valuable things you possess. So stop giving unlimited access to everything that wants to enter it. Every argument doesn't deserve your attention. Every piece of bad news doesn't deserve your anxiety. Every opinion doesn't deserve your emotional reaction. Every person doesn't deserve access to your peace. Be selective. What you repeatedly consume will influence what you repeatedly think about. And what you repeatedly think about will eventually influence how you